Hello, group. Welcome to Action Rock Corner. I'm your host, Richard May. You're observing where I was tonight. I got to see Acid Mother's Temple for their 30th anniversary tour here in Cleveland, Ohio, at the Beachland Tavern, as opposed to the ballroom. The tavern means they basically were in a corner bar. A very cool corner bar. But the bottom line, Acid Mother's Temple Live is the best. It's the best psych jam experience. How does it rank with Earthless? Pretty darn close. Okay. And Acid Mother's Temple is basically a Japanese music commune. It also tours constantly, as I will discuss in a second. They may be coming to you, wherever in the world you are, in the near future. Keep an eye out for them. Completely worth your time to see Acid Mother's Temple. Acid Mother's Temple also spends a lot of time recording live albums of their tour dates and studio albums. They're prolific. Leave it at that. They're prolific as all get out. I have no idea what the total is of how many releases they have. I have some displayed over here that I own physically on the CD rack in the corner that I'm pointing to over here. In the last year or two, I've done printouts of the covers over here. And I went to the merch table before the show started. And yes, they have vinyl, as the kids do nowadays. And they have a nice sized box of CDs for $10 each. No duplicates. It's a box about, I don't know, maybe about yay big. No duplicates. Mostly in sleeves. So in other words, there's a lot of CDs from Acid Mother's Temple and offshoots and solo projects of various people who are involved with Acid Mother's Temple. Lots of stuff to choose from, $10 each. I surprised myself. I only bought 2 CDs. Quite surprised at that. That's the one I bought. Of course, I haven't heard it yet because I just got home. Shall we return to outer space? I just bought it for the cover. I was looking for a cool cover for display purposes down the road. I'm not even sure what the name of this record is, or the CD is. But it's kind of a cool cover. Pattern-like. And then a whole bunch more. But I wound up getting 2 t-shirts, which surprised me. It was a sale. One for $25, which is a reasonable price, or 2 for $40. So they're the same shirt, but one's in black and one's in purple. So, yeah, they were great. It's great psych, great jamming. Boy, did they jam. They jam like all get out. So you say you like jamming? You like jam bands? This is a jam. As a Mother's Temple live? Boy howdy. All of it is a jam. And, me and 100 of my friends, I didn't count heads. It's a tavern. I forgot how small this tavern is. It's a bloody bar. And a good fraction of the floor space is given to the stage and the sound and merch table in the front. So stage in the back, merch and soundboard in the back, bar on one side, and I got a seat to the other side, and then of course you can stand in the middle. So how many of us had? You can't do much more than 100, maybe 200 if you pack them. We weren't packed. So I find this very special. Not only am I listening to, as I speak, my favorite band, period, at least live. Maybe Earthless can challenge? Maybe. But you're in intimate space. You're not in the upper deck or something. No. You're intimate. I could throw something at them. Not that I would. That would be wrong. I'm just saying less than throwing something distance away. And there weren't many people in front of me. And I was at the front. My hearing is, Uncle Richard forgot to bring earplugs. Sometimes when I go to the Beachland, I don't need earplugs, especially when I'm in the ballroom. This is a tavern. It's small and close to the stage. Everywhere is close to the stage when you're in a tavern. So, if I'm speaking a bit louder than usual, it's because I can't hear myself. At least not normally. The echo is on. So, cool bar, intimate audience. We were really into it. Because I'm sure most of us have seen As a Mother's Temple before. They tour constantly. If you have not accepted the opportunity to see As a Mother's Temple live, do it. Like I say, like they do, they tour constantly. For Pete's sake, in this tour, they're going from October 2nd to November 9th every night. No nights off. Every night. They basically packed up and had to go to Rochester, if I remember correctly, when we look at the back of the shirt in a second. Cleveland, Rochester, New York is not next door to each other. It takes a while. They got to be there for a show tomorrow. So, bless their hearts. You understand? Psych, jamming, guitar tone, amazing guitar tone. Just cuts through the ear racks. And the synth, there's a more precise word for it. It's not this. It's basically the UFO taking off, flying, landing. That's what the synth is. It's space rock, boys and girls. Yes, it is. When that synth is going, there's space rock and psych. Yeah, those are the whole hands in the band. Is that guitar player and the synth player. The gray in their hair betrays their age. The other three, the drummer, the bass player, and the rhythm guitar singer, not so old. And that's okay. Singer was quite good. Singing Japanese, of course. Don't care that he's singing in Japanese. Just. And at one point, and mind you, they started October 2nd, this is October 20th that I'm speaking to you. It was October 20th the show occurred. So they just did 18, 19 shit. There's a 19th show in this particular tour, night after night. At one point, and of course it happened to all of us in the audience, just about. Not that I've observed every individual. But I like that. I like turning my head and doing people watching while the show's going on. I learned that as a young man. If you can't people watch, sorry. Don't know why you're alive. But the singer at one point clearly, saw how the band was in a groove, in a spot, and they were going for it. He just had the widest smile when he found himself in that groove, the band in that groove. He's not taking it for granted. We didn't either. There were two largely, and then a third showed up. Middle-aged, slightly younger than me, slightly. Dancing like no one was watching. I guess I was. And it's the only way to dance is as if no one is watching. They were into it. I was into it. Much of the crowd, it's just amazing. With barely a pause between each number. Earthless, does not really pause whatsoever in the course of their set. As a Mother's Temple, barely paused. Barely. It was just, okay, guitar player, you play a little bit and let us know what we're playing next. So, the band would stop and the guitar player would, or the synth player, would solo a touch, and then the rest of the band would kick in. So that's not cool. There is a break when the song breaks down, and then one person's playing, largely the guitar player playing, and then that's what we're playing. and then everyone else joins in. When you see Earthless, no solo. They're going for at least 75 minutes without a break. Maybe slow down. They'll slow down. What's next? Oh, okay. And off they go. But no one breaks down to a solo to determine, oh, what we're playing next. In Earthless, all three are still playing. But we're talking about As the Mother's Temple. The crowd loved it. We were just amazed. If you're not amazed, I don't know, you have ears. You know, when it's that loud, and you can't ignore it when it's that loud, there isn't background noise. It may be an instrumental, and when there's vocals, it's in Japanese, so it's still kind of instrumental if you don't understand the words. It's amazing. And of course, As the Mother's Temple is found on YouTube Music. Go find it for yourself. And particularly recommend Pink Lady Lemonade. That is their major song they have to play in every show, apparently. All 3 times I've seen As the Mother's Temple, yes, they played Pink Lady Lemonade. So maybe you want to find that and see if you enjoy that as your introduction to As the Mother's Temple. So let me talk about the opener, the Max. I also bought their new record, just came out about last month, Bonanza, the Max. The Max album, Bonanza. And they're from Portland, with current events in Portland, Oregon, in the United States. Portland's having a great time. The occupying military force may not be enjoying themselves as much as the protesters. But, you know, instead of being there, they're touring with As the Mother's Temple. They are getting a night off at some point, I noticed. But then they're going right back onto the tour. And they're a bit more of a garage band, but they do jam. And they got a keyboard player and a synth player with his own mechanical, electronic UFO buzzing around. So there's psych going on there too. They don't quite admit that, and of course that's why they were booked to be the opener by an iconic psych band and As the Mother's Temple. So if I like this record, and I hope I do since I paid cash, $10. But if I like it, I'll be reviewing this soon. Especially if it's found on YouTube. Okay. Even got this free yellow sticker. You may find this somewhere. But the more effective sticker is over there. So if I turn a bit when I display the AC/DC sticker, you will now see a Max sticker as well. And the Max was really good. More song-based. More singing in English and all of that jive. But, and the first couple songs I was wondering, why are they here with acid? But then when they start jamming with both a keyboard and a synth, they belonged with As a Mother's Temple just fine. Great set. And, not as great as a Mother's Temple, but it's hard to catch up with As a Mother's Temple. But the Macs did darn good. I'm looking forward to listening to their new record, Bonanza. And, if I intrigued you, I did the best I can. I tried. I'm a lousy critic, but I'm a decent champion of a band. You want to hear some really great electric psych music, jam music. Not jam like Dave Matthews or the Grateful Dead. Oh no. We're talking really rocking. Cut through your ear racks. Jamming live. As a Mother's Temple is where you want to be. I will display this. Okay, let's see. I'm doing this upside down. Okay. Here's where I was tonight. Okay. You can freeze. Oh, this works. Okay. Freeze your TV. You can read their tour dates. Okay, basically, I will air this on the 22nd afternoon. So my niece, Holly, and the kids, it's a school night, but go see As a Mother's Temple. Okay, in Philadelphia on Wednesday. And then they're working to the East Coast, going down south, and then coming across back to the West Coast where they started the tour on October 2nd. The Long Beach, what's it, Alex's Bar, isn't it? And I imagine every site might be fairly intimate as well. And I enjoy that. I enjoy an intimate setting for a really great concert. And don't understand, the Beachland Tavern has hosted some really great bands, over the years that I've seen personally. The Upper Crust, 9 Pound Hammer, which is regularly behind me. Where's 9 Pound Hammer? Yeah, I always cover it up, that's why. There it is. 9 Pound Hammer, the Dirt Bombs. Some really cool bands have played in the tavern before, and of course in the ballroom behind. So, Beachland is a great place to see a show when you're in Cleveland. I'm sure, I would hope, all these places are great places to see a show. Oh, I neglected. There's also a really great laser lava video being projected on the band and behind the band while the show's going on. So both during the Max set and As a Mother's Temple. I forget the name of the person, firm, whatever it is, doing the laser show. I guess we'd call it a laser show. It's not really, it isn't blinking lights, flashing lights that some people can't take. I guess some people wouldn't be able to take the lights This light is more like a lava lamp, but more progressed than a lava lamp. It's cool. Go with that. So, added value. You got a really great band, got a really good opener, and you got a light show. Hopefully, in a larger place, the light show would be more effective. But it was pretty good at the Beachland Tavern a few hours ago. Anything else I'm supposed to say? Let's see. What do my notes say? Every day until November 9th, there's summer in America, and then I'm sure they're taking a break, and then there'll be some other country. Look online, they have some Mother's Temple, and see if they're coming near you in the near future. And that's what I got. We loved it. There should have been more of us. You should have been there if you were in Cleveland. You're not in Cleveland? Okay, one more time. Let's edit the shirt. Okay. You get those dates? If I should be nice enough to do it in the comments as well. It won't take me all that long to give you all the shows coming up from the 22nd. Yeah, I'll put this on the 22nd afternoon. And go check them out if they're nearby you. And keep an eye out. And go check out whatever they release. Whatever I buy from Answer Mother's Temple is always quality. Yeah. And of course, their influences are always cool. You need to name your albums basically after Frank Zappa records. Good job. And, one CD I did buy from an Answer Mother's Temple show was a Hulkwind tribute that they contributed to. That's an insurance of quality as well. And there is indeed space rock going on in here. And we don't get to see Hulkwind in the States much. But you get as much as ice is going to allow in the United States. Hopefully we will see more of Answer Mother's Temple in the United States. Knock on wood, which I have none nearby me. So, I think that's all I got. You like this video? Give it a like. Subscribe to Action Rock Corner. Ring the notification bell. And there's live Answer Mother's Temple all over the place on YouTube Music for you to check out as well. So check some of it out and come back if you don't know your Answer Mother's Temple. And what do you think? If this is your groove, this is your kind of acid space rock, UFO synth, and that guitar tone, at least the one tonight, that guitar tone, holy moly, that was amazing. It relays in action rock, garage rock, punk, rockabilly, psychobilly, and classic and legacy bands. After 30 years, can we call Answer Mother's Temple legacy? Well, if you're playing in a bar the size of the one we were at tonight, maybe we can't call them legacy, despite the long career of As a Mother's Temple. But it ought to be. They ought to be considered a legacy. They're great. Check them out. Thank you for watching. And remember, fresh music is as important as fresh food. And a nice veggie burger at the Beachland waiting for the show. It's good when you have a place where you can get a nice drink and a good dinner. It's a new day. It's definitely a new day. When you get a meal in the same spot you're going to see the show. I love that. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Have fun with your music. Bye.